And then Melissa, you've been having some left jaw pain. Anytime you have a problem on the right side or the left side of the body, I want you to muscle test or ask if this is connected to your divine feminine or masculine imbalance. And is this the true for you, Melissa? No. If it's not true there, ask if it has a connection to the twin flame energy. And for yours, it does, Melissa. So, if you have twin flame energy or dynamics, you know that you're indigo 3 or vice versa. If you're indigo 3, you're going to be dealing with this twin flame stuff that is nails on a chalkboard to me. Someday, hopefully I'll tell you my amazing twin flame journey, but for now, I'm I don't want to deal with it. Okay. So what does this have to do with this, Melissa? You are resistant. So left is your feminine side. Your feminine is being resistant to. Oh, what's interference today? If someone can hear me, okay, Bobby Joseph's good. All right, so let's continue on with Melissa's. I paused so I didn't cut off for you. So what my husband has taught me is how to receive love and receive from the male. If you're a feminine, your job is to receive. And if you've been in flight or in toxic relationships or had to be like a warrior spirit for a long time, you're constantly not in a place to receive. You're I've got to do all the work and I'm toiling and I'm not going to receive. So that is usually an indication there that you're not willing to receive. So it's your left jaw, which is the feminine side, which is true. So I'm going to clear blocks to receiving for you, Melissa. And the day that I wanted to die was when I realized that I'd never really let my husband love me. And I was always holding him at a distance because I didn't feel worthy of love and I was afraid to actually receive it. I was happy to accept it at a distance and hold it away from me. And thinking of receiving it was I would rather die. It was so traumatic for me because I had been burned so many times and had so many core wounds and traumas. I just was are you kidding me? I cannot fathom. And I literally felt like my heart was going to explode in my chest. And I think I had a headache. I was I cannot do this. Oh my gosh. So that was part of my higher heart activation, is really opening yourself up to receive if you're a feminine. And if you're a masculine, feeling like you're really willing to give. And because of this fallen matrix and timeline, we have been so inverted. The matrix has inserted so many timelines and codes into you to create an inversion of this energy. So it doesn't feel natural for us to receive. You feel like you're being selfish or taking from others, or something's wrong with you if you're just receiving. And Melissa said this about, I just cleared for, I'm not done with you yet, Melissa. I'm talking about, because you brought up a really important point that we all need to be aware of. And I think start working towards. I'm like the canary in the coal mine for some of this. So I had to do it. And now I'm telling you, hey, you got to do this too. It's coming up in the pipeline for you. And so we need to, for me, I was getting triggered about my kids getting spoiled for the holidays. I'm they don't need all this. They don't, I wanted to say they don't deserve all of it. And I'm who am I to say whether they deserve it or not? And then I am you know what? I actually love it when my husband spoils me. I love it. Does it corrupt me? On some level, I felt that if they were spoiled or if I received too much, that I would get corrupted. And so in a reference, I wasn't able to truly trust myself. If I was given too much in the past, that Nephilim aspect, what did it do? The dark mother would consume everything to herself. If you're operating in the white mother aspect, an archetype, and you're healed, you can receive everything in the world and you're not going to get corrupted. And you can receive it with grace and not become egotistical and spoiled and bratty and all these things. And so I'm I'm just going to let my kids receive what's coming to them. And it's really their journey to decide if it's going to corrupt them. And I'm going to guide them onto, how to deal with it in a way that is honoring to our higher selves and source creator. And so I've been working on letting that go. And I felt these triggers coming from for my kids getting stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's like more crap to lay around the house and I have to pick it up and they're not going to appreciate it. And my one son does appreciate it. Like I make him buy his own clothes if he wants name brand stuff that is expensive. I accidentally flicked some oil on him and he was like, it was the end of the day for him. He was so upset. We had to go buy like the shout wipes and this was when we were on vacation. I bought like $10 worth of cleaning stuff so he could clean his shirt because he takes such good care of his stuff. He got an RC car and he like takes it, he opens it, he puts it upside down, lets it dry, like airs it out every time. Like he is rocking it. He's taking care of his stuff. Here is a comment about that. For me, it felt like the most difficult thing in the world to do to finally receive and like let my husband like touch me. Not like he's touched me many times, but let his spirit, his energy touch me. There's just something like you get so wounded and so broke down through all these different lifetimes that it's hard when I ask, like, have I really let somebody love me to the full extent of my ability? And when I talk about heart balls, I'm like, it's really opening up your ability to give and receive love. Well, I did all the work on my lower heart, but I had not done the same work on my higher heart. And that's where it felt like it was really traumatic for me to go through this. So I hope that as you're through this journey, you may feel like, oh, I already did all this heart wall work and I did all this work. You have a higher heart. And for us to truly ascend, we have to clear off the higher heart. You can't clear off the higher heart until you've done the lower heart. And the higher heart one may feel like you are going to die. You would rather die than go through this. So I'm working on it. I've been super triggered this week, and I look at triggers as an opportunity for growth and expansion. And I didn't even say anything to the people who I felt like were spoiling my children. It was like a grin and bear it, but it was not holding it in. I was processing it in the sidelines. So I never said anything to anybody. I just did this internal work on myself, knowing that I was triggered by it. And if you're triggered on things like, the Avatar movie, use that as an opportunity to work on what is being triggered and brought to the surface. So I hope that resonates for you.